armed with confidence rather than a sales pitch. But I'm not a salesperson. Okay, some readers are not salespeople. But unless you are an all-powerful leader of a sovereign kingdom, you continually need to persuade other people if you want to accomplish your own goals. No man is an island, and no person can exist without enlisting the cooperation of others. Ditch the pitch habits are not only lessons for salespeople. No matter what your job, they will help you become much more effective at getting people to agree with you. Detecting the pitch. 7 years ago, my brother Phil was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Good news. As of this writing, he's in great shape. In fact, he recently completed a marathon. I remember those traumatic weeks after the initial diagnosis, which were filled with fear, uncertainty, and unanswerable questions. Choosing a course of treatment was one of the toughest things Phil faced in those first days. He was inundated with information from doctors, pharmaceutical companies, and experts. At one point, he called me and said, "I've realized that all information about this disease falls into one of two categories. It either is or isn't a sales pitch." The easiest way for Phil to filter information was to discount all the sales pitches by focusing on information that was presented without a self-serving bias. There is nothing more obvious than an overt sales pitch, and there is nothing more likely to awaken a customer's defenses. What happens to you when you detect a sales pitch? Imagine these scenarios. You and your financial planner are discussing your long-term financial health, and you suddenly realize he is trying to sell you life insurance. You are chatting with someone at a party, and you begin to think that he hopes to install the latest home security products in your house. A website that provides information about your disease is sponsored by a company that makes a medication your doctor didn't recommend. Your teenager comes to cuddle on the couch with you, telling you what a great parent you are, and then, as soon as you are lulled into a stupor of family happiness, asks you for money to buy a new computer. Doesn't your perception change as soon as you detect the pitch? We all have customers. If your job is in sales, it's obvious that the people you are trying to persuade are called customers. But I encourage all of us, even those of us who are not salespeople, to think of the people we have to persuade as customers. At the most fundamental level, a customer is anyone whose actions affect your desired outcomes. We don't reach our goals on our own. We need the cooperation of others, and these people are our customers. Have someone to persuade? That person is your customer. By using this broad definition of the word customer, you will be able to apply ditch the pitch habits to every type of situation where you require persuasion to succeed. Why pitches don't work. In both our business and social lives, we do not want to be assaulted by one-way communication. We want to be invited into two-way conversations where we can be heard and understood. But a pitch is inherently a one-way process. You pitch something over the side of a boat into the sea. A pitcher pours water in one direction, out. To throw a baseball is to pitch. What happens when a baseball pitcher throws a ball directly at a batter? The batter usually ducks or jumps out of the way, just like my brother did when he detected medical sales pitches related to managing his multiple sclerosis. Let's explore why people are so averse to sales pitches. Reason number 1 why sales pitches don't work. Your customer doesn't care about your story. As Aristotle said, "The fool tells me his reasons. The wise man persuades me with my own." Why is this so true? I'm sorry to be the one to deliver the bad news, but here's the unadorned truth. Your customer doesn't really care what you have to say about yourself or about what you are trying to sell. Your story is not that interesting to him. He cares much more about his own story. This fact is at the heart of why sales pitches don't work. Your customer spends a fraction of his time thinking about issues that are important to you, but he spends all his time living his own life. He only cares about your story to the extent that your story can impact his story. Consider these two approaches to a sales situation. You like this car? Let me tell you about it. Versus, you like this car? Tell me what you like about it. The greatest myth of marketing, sales, and persuasion is that other people want to hear our stories. And for this reason, companies spend billions of dollars getting the word out with marketing communications and dumping sales pitches on people in sales calls. The truth is, customers care about their own stories, and a pitch is inherently the story of the seller. What do you think is more likely to catch the attention of your customer? A story about you or a story about him? Reason number 2 why sales pitches don't work. If you are pitching, your customer will stop listening.